And we put that to some good use, and I'll show you some examples. Again, we found some signals which told us about cognitive intention, and now we wanted to utilize those for device control. And this is an example of one of our subjects who is controlling a cursor, again, with thought alone, towards 4 peripheral targets. And can you see that cursor? It's kind of small. And also, just to put this into perspective, so he did this in about an hour of training. And some of the other, relative to some of the other constructs with single unit systems as well as with EEG, it takes around, with single units it takes several months, with EEG it takes several months to years to get even close to that type of control. So the control was very fast, and part of that was predicated on the fact that we were utilizing these high frequencies. No, there's nothing connected to it. This is all from brain activity alone. Yeah?
So what is he thinking about there?
It's a great question. Yeah, so the question was, what is he actually thinking when he's doing that? Well, initially we tell him, imagine moving your hand going up, down, left, right. But and that's what he originally was doing. But when you ask him at the end of the session, he says, well, and again, this is anecdotal, I can't prove this, but he says, well, I just wanted to go up, down, left, right. It becomes intention-based. And really what we found is, and I don't have the slides in here to show it to you, but people, very quickly, once they get this closed-loop feedback, basically learn to tune their brain signals to what the computer is looking for. And they learn it very quickly with feedback.
I noticed the subject moved his head.
Uh-huh.
Can you have that sort of effect with just a brain movement? Just through moving the eyes rather than moving the head?
Oh, the head movement actually has nothing to do with him. He's just following it. That's all. It's purely brain activity. That it really, and I'll show you some other examples here to show you that that's actually kind of not important. So here's another example where he uses actual movements this time, which you're going to see. He's going to play Space Invaders here. And to get the cursor to go to the right, he uses real hand movements. But again, it's being derived. The control is being derived from brain signal alone. Right hand movements move his cannon to the right. Tongue movements, which you can't see, move it to the left. So he's got basically 2 control features, right and left. So you're going to see he's basically waiting for that final Space Invader. He shoots it. And if you watch his hand, he's actually really good at dodging and juking. And again, this is brain activity that's controlling this. So he's kind of upset about that. Now, but one of the important things is that essentially when you look at brain activity, especially with motor movements, there's essentially very little difference between real movements and imagined movements. So now we say, well, you really don't actually need to move your hands. Stop that. Pretty much he has the same level of performance. But I think, one thing that I want to kind of, talk about is this kind of notion of the neural code, or kind of somewhat of a colloquial term. But I think what it's telling us is that really, we kind of really found the iceberg with brain-computer interfacing. And the point being is that the information in the brain is knowable, that we can decode this information, this electrical activity from whether it be cortex or even deeper brain structures, to really understand the information of our thoughts and our intentions.